ओके, ठीक है। सो हम लोगों ने पहला उपदेश देख लिया था हठ प्रदीपिका का लास्ट वीक। आज हम दूसरा उपदेश विल स्टडी द सेकेंड उपदेश. So the second उपदेश we are going to study नाड़ी शोधन प्राणायाम, nadi shodhan, then pranayam, shat karma, all these things we are going to learn in second updesh. So in the first shlok itself, athasane drude yogi vashi hitamitashana guru padishta margena pranayaman samabhyaset. So here Swatma Rishi is saying that once a yogi has established himself in the asana, so in first updesh, Swatmana Rishi told us to practice different asanas. Now he's saying that once you have established or perfected your asana, then a yogi master of himself, eating salutary and moderate food, that means mitahar, he has to follow mitahar, pathya, apathya, whatever has been told in the first updesh, he has to follow that, should practice pranayam. So after perfecting asana, the yogi should continue his moderate food. Okay, that is mitahar, pathya, apathya he should follow. Then he should practice pranayam. And how should he practice pranayam? As instructed by his guru. Guru padishta margena. So as instructed by his guru, accordingly he should start practicing pranayam. Then how to control your chitta or man. So, or we can see what is the effect of pranayam. Chale vate chalam chittam nishchale nishchalam bhavet yogi sthanu tvamapnoti tato vayum nirodhaet. So here it is said that chale vate chale chittam means our breathing or our respiration, our inhalation and exhalation is connected to our chitta or our mind. So whenever our respiration is disturbed, when our breathing is disturbed, our mind is also disturbed. And when the mind is disturbed, it reflects on our breathing also. We studied this in Bhagavad Gita also, when Sri Krishna was telling about how to control the mind. At that time, Bhagavan Sri Krishna told Arjun to control his breathing. So same is told over here, that the respiration being disturbed, the mind becomes disturbed. So if you want to control your mind, sthanu, that means if you want to stabilize your mind or attain steadiness of the mind, what you need to do is you need to restrain your respiration. That means you have to gain control on your breathing. Then it is said that Yavat vayu sthito dehe. So as long as there is air or we are breathing, sthito dehe tavat jivanam uchyate. So as long as there is air in our body, tavat jivanam uchyate. We are alive. It is called as life. We are alive. Maranam tasya nishkrantis tato vayu nirodhayet. And when there is no air or when the vayu leaves our body, at that time, what is it said? That maranam, that means we attain death. So as long as the air stays in the body, we are alive, and death consists in the passing of the air. So whenever our prana leaves our body, that means when the vayu leaves our body, when we stop breathing, at that time it is said that we are dead. Hence, control on our breath is very important. So here, why is our breath so important? Why should we control our breath? Because our life depends on our breath. If we control our the respiration or our breathing, then we can control our mind. And our life also depends on our breathing. Then, malakulasu nadishu maruto naiva madhyagaha katasyadun mani bhava karya siddhi katham bhavet. That means the breath does not pass through the middle channel, that is sushumna, owing to the impurities of the nadis. So if we know that there are nadis in our body. In some scriptures, it is said that there are 72,000 nadis. In some scriptures, it is said that there are 350,000. So in this way, there are various opinions about how many nadis are there in our body. But everybody agrees that there are nadis in our body, and the breath, it flows through these nadis. Now, if there are impurities in the nadis, for example, you're watering the garden and if there is something stuck in the pipe, will the water flow smoothly? No. Similarly, if there is impurity in the nadi, then the breath will not pass through the sushumna owing to the impurities of the nadi. So, if you want the breath to pass through the sushumna nadi, then the nadis need to be pure. How can success be attained and how can there be Unmani Avastha? So, if there is impurities in the nadis and if it cannot flow through the Sushumna nadi, then how can a yogi attain Unmani Avastha? So, here, how then Satmaram Rishi is telling how to purify those nadi. Nadi Shodhan, that means how to purify the nadis. Here he told us that nadis need to be purified. Okay. Nadis need to be purified. Only then the air passes through the Sushumna. And then when the air enters Sushumna, at that then a yogi attains Unmani Avastha. So, how to purify these nadis? So, on that, he's saying that first, very important from exam point of view, Baddha Padmasan, the yogi needs to sit in a Baddha Padmasan. So, how should be the posture? The yogi needs to sit in Baddha Padmasan. It is asked in the exam. So, very, very important. Then, second, after that, after sitting in the position, after sitting in Baddha Padmasan for Nadi Shodhan, he has to inhale through his left nostril, hold his breath, that is Kumbhak, then exhale through the right nostril. After exhaling through the right nostril, again inhale through the right nostril only. Then hold your breath again and exhale through the left nostril. And we have to repeat the same process again and again with both the nostrils. So this is Nadi Shodhan. Then, how many times should you practice this Nadi Shodhan? So here it is said in Hat Pradipika that you need to practice 4 times in a day. Morning, noon, evening and midnight. These are the 4 timings where you should be practicing Nadi Shodhan. Now, in the morning or noon, evening, night, whenever you're practicing, how many cycles of Nadi Shuddhi or Nadi Shodhan should you practice? So, here it is said that every time you sit, that means in the morning, if you're practicing Nadi Shodhan, you need to practice 80 kumbhak per session. So, when you inhale, hold your breath, exhale through your right nostril, then again inhale through your right, hold, and left nostril. So like this, that kumbhak, it has to be 80 per session. So 80 in the morning, 80 in the noon, 80 in the evening, and 80 in the midnight. So 80 per session. Then when you practice Nadi Shodhan in this way, what happens? You start sweating because heat is generated in your body. So when you practice Nadi Shodhan, lot of heat is generated in your body. So you start sweating. Here it is said that don't just rub away the sweat. You have to wipe it on the, or you can say rub it on the body, don't wipe it. Rub it on the body. And when you rub your sweat on the body, what happens? What is the effect of it? Your body becomes strong and light. So what is the effect of rubbing your sweat into the body? Your body becomes strong and light. Now, then again, he's telling about the ahar. He told us when to practice. First, he told us how to practice. Then he told us when to practice. Then, how many times. Then he told us about this also, that you have to rub the sweat. Then he's telling about the ahar, very, very important. Milk and ghee is recommended at the start. In the initial practice, in the initial practice, what is recommended? Milk and ghee. When the Yogi, he starts his practice. What happens? Because of this practice, lot of heat is generated in his body, and it may cause some kind of discomfort. So, to cool his body, the yogi needs to consume milk and ghee. It generates coolness. Milk and ghee, it generates coolness. So, the heat that is produced in the body due to the practice of Nadi Shodhan, that is reduced by this kind of diet. So, when the yogi starts practicing, that is at the initial stage, milk and ghee is recommended. And then later on, when he is continuing his practice, later on, no restrictions after regular practice. Once he gets used to that practice, then it is said that there are no restrictions of diet. So, then here, three stages of practices told. So here, Prahata, Madhyan, Sayan, and Ardharatri. These are the four times. Prahata means morning, Madhyan means afternoon, Sayankal means evening, and Ardharatri means midnight. So we know that for four times we have to practice. We have to practice 80 kumbhak. Now, when a yogi starts practicing, what happens? He goes through different stages as he practices. So the first stage is called as Pratham, that is the beginning stage. In this beginning stage, what happens? He he perspires, he sweats a lot. So in the beginning stage, what happens when he's practicing Naradi Shodhan? He sweats a lot, sweth. Then as he continues his practice and he reaches the next stage, that is Madhya stage, at that time what happens? His body, he starts curing, that is shivering, kampa. And then the last and the third stage is the Uttam stage, that is the best stage. Vayum Nibandhayet. That means his body becomes very light, and his body, it levitates. It starts floating in the air, and the Vayu, that the breath, it slowly becomes steady and motionless. So there are three stages: Pratham, Madhyam, and Uttam. The first stage, in the first stage, the yogi starts sweating. Second stage, his body starts shivering or curing, we can say kampa. And the third stage, that is the Uttam stage, what happens? Vayu Nibandhet, his body leviates and the breath becomes steady. Then, again, very important from exam point of view, you have to learn the sequence. Yatha siho gajo vyagro. Siha. So, just like lions, elephants, and tigers, just like these three animals, they are controlled slowly. So, if you want to control these animals, you can't control them in one day. You have to gradually, slowly control them. Shanai, Shanaihi. That means you have to control them slowly. Shanai means slowly. So the breath is also controlled by slowly. So just like lions, elephants, and tigers are controlled slowly, similarly, our breath is also to be controlled slowly. Otherwise, it kills the practitioner himself, or it is not good for the practitioner at all. We can say rather than kills, it is harmful for the practitioner. How is it harmful? That is told later. So you have to remember the sequence: lion, elephant, and tiger, how they are controlled slowly. Shanaihi, Shanaihi. Similarly, the breath is also to be controlled slowly. Otherwise, it becomes very harmful for the practitioner himself. How is it harmful? That is told later on. That if pranayam is not practiced properly, then what happens? Pranayamena yuktena. That means if the pranayam, it is performed properly, then what happens? Sarva roga kshayo bhavet. Kshaya means destroys. Sarva roga. All the diseases are destroyed if you practice the pranayam properly. Ayukta abhyasa yogena. That means if you don't practice it properly, then what happens? Sarva roga samudbhavaha. All the different diseases, they are generated in your body. So very, very important. So if you practice pranayam properly, it destroys all the diseases. If you don't practice pranayam properly, you invite different diseases. Now, which type of diseases? That is also mentioned over here. Here, you have to learn this in sequence. Hikka, shvasascha, kasascha, क्षीरः कर्णाक्षिवेदनाः भवन्ति विविधा रोगाः पवनस्य प्रकोपतः. Hikka. Hikka means hiccup. Then is shwasa. Shwasa means asthma, or you can say diseases related to your breathing. Shwas. Kasha. Kasa means cough. Then is shira. Shira means head. Karna means ear. Aksha. Aksha means eyes. So hiccup, asthma, cough, pain in the head, the ears, and the eyes. These are the various kind of diseases that are generated by the disturbance of the breath. So that means if you don't practice pranayam, what happens? You will suffer from these kind of diseases. Then further he tells us that when the nadis become free from impurities, and there appear the outward signs of success. So when the nadis become free from impurities, they are clean, pure. Then what happens? There are certain effects that you see on the physical body. You can see it on your body. What are those effects? Your body becomes lean and glowing. Your body becomes lean, that is krusha, and glowing, that is kanti. Krusha and Kanti. Kayasya. Kayasya means your body, your skin. Your body becomes Krusha, means lean. Kanti, that means your body starts glowing. So that is how you know that yes, your nadis are now free from impurities. So that is the sign. How do you know that your nadis are pure? When your body becomes lean and it starts glowing. That is the sign. And that is how we know that the nadis are free from impurities. Now, here is the question. I couldn't translate it in English. I'll help you. In Hat Pradipika, when the Vayu is disturbed, which are the different diseases that are generated? Put them in sequence. Shwasa, that means asthma. Shira Vedana, head. Hitchki, that means hiccup. Kasa, that means cough. Karana Vedana, that means ear. So put it in the sequence. Which comes first? Shwas, Shira Vedana, Hichki, Kas, or Karana Vedana? Which comes first?
Option 2.
Shwas, then Shira Vedana. No,
Option 1, ma'am. Option 1.
Hichki.
Option one, ma'am.
Okay, Hichki, Shwasa, Kasa, Shira Vedana, and Karana Vedana. Very good. Very
One.
nice.
Yes.
Yes. So here it is same. When the nadis become free from impurities, same is repeated over here by mistake. Then now here we know that the body has become lean and glowing in color. Okay, that is the physical aspect that you are seeing. That is the outward difference that you are seeing. The outward benefit of nadi shuddhi, or the impurities, the removal of impurities from the nadis. But there are certain other effects also, which are internal. When a nadis become pure, what happens? There are certain other things that are happening inside your body also. There are certain changes taking place in your body. And which are they? The air can be restrained according to one's wish. That means you can control the vayu as per your wish. The appetite is increased. Jataragni pradipta. The divine sound is awakened. That means you can hear the nad. Then the body becomes healthy. That means arogya labh. So when the nadis, impurities from the nadis are removed, tell me which are the physical two things which are seen on the body?
शरीर पतला यानी सुडल होता है एंड कांतिमान होता है.
So lean body and glowing body. And which are the other effects that you see which are internal?
Air can be restrained and the appetite, digestive fire is increased. जठराग्नि प्रदीप्त होता है. अंदर का नाद सुनाई देने लगता है, डिवाइन साउंड, और आरोग्यता का लाभ होता है.
Then who should practice Shat Karma or Shodhan Kriya? Now, after Nadi Shodhan, Swatmanam Rishi is telling that once your nadis are pure and you know that all the impurities are gone, all the impurities are removed, then you should practice Shat Kriya. But then who should practice? Is it that everyone has to practice? So it is not the case. So he has told us Medha Shleshmadhika. Medha Shleshmadhika. That means if there is excess of fat, Medha Shleshma, that is film. If there is excess of fat or film in the body, the 6 kind of kriyas, that means Shat Karma, should be performed. But others not suffering from the excess of these should not perform them. So first he is saying that those who have excess of fat and film, Medha and Shleshma, they should perform the Shat Karma. But those who are not suffering from these, they should not perform Shat Karma. So if the 3 doshas are balanced, if the 3 doshas are in the balanced state, still there is, I'll add this later on. If the 3 doshas are in the balanced state, still there is no need to practice Shat Karma. Now tell me, Ruchiji, who needs to perform Shat Karma according to Swatmaram?
मैम जिनमें जो मोटे हैं, जिनमें कफ और श्लेष्मा अधिक है, उनको करना चाहिए.
And who should not perform? Who will answer? Muthu Lakshmi ji?
Those who are in balance in Vada, Pitta, Kapha.
Yes. Yes. Very good. Okay. Now, again a question. In Hatha Yoga Pradipika, before the practice of pranayam, which, 1 minute, which person is said to practice or should practice Shat Karma before practicing pranayam as per Hatha Pradipika? Who should practice Shat Karma before practicing pranayam as per Hatha Pradipika? Kayasya Krushata, Medah Shleshmadhik, Gulma Pliha Udaram, Tandradinam. Kayasya
Shleshmadhik.
Kayasya Krushata means your body is lean. We saw over here, Kayasya Krushata. Kayasya Krushata. So that is not there. Then Medha Shleshmadhik. Medha Shleshmadhik. So yes, that is a correct answer. Gulma Pliha Udar. Gulma Pliha, that we will see later on. Gulma Pliha and Udar. Nothing of that sort is mentioned. Tandra Adina, that is also not mentioned. Tandra means laziness. So, and Gulma, okay, I'll tell you. Gulma Pliha and Udar. Gulma means gas. If you have a gas issue, Pliha means issues related to spleen, and Udar means belly related or intestine digestion related issues. So here Swadmanam Rishi did not mention anything about it. He only said that those who have Medha Shleshmadhik, more of meda and shleshma, excess of fat and film. Only they should perform shatakarma. Now, what are the shatakarma? So, dhauti bastis tatha neti tratakam nolikam tatha kapal bhatis chaitani shatakarmani prachakshate. You have to learn this entire shlok. Very, very important. Sequence is asked from here because in Hiranya Samhita the sequence is different and here the sequence is different. You will get confused. So learn now only. 1 minute. Sukanya ji, recite this shlok.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
श्लोक दौतिर्बस्तिस्तथा नेतिस्त्राटकं नौलिकं तथा कपालभतिश्चैतानि षट्कर्माणि प्रचक्षते.
Yes, very good. So let's understand one by one. We know all these, I think even you all know it, but let's understand what Swatmaram has told in Hatha Pradipika, because there is slight difference as per every grantha. So in Hatha Pradipika, what is said? Chaturang, Chatur Ungal Vistaram, Chatur. So Chatur means 4. Ungal, Angul. Angul means this is 1 angul, 2, 3, 4. So this is 4 angul, Chatur angul. So it has to be 4 angul wide. So what should be the width of the cloth? 4 angul. So I have written in centimeters also, because in exam, if at all they ask in centimeters, you should know in that way also, and angul also. So width is told. Then he has told the length also. Length of the cloth is 15 hand span. 15 hand span, that means 15 haath lamba. That is 1.5 meter long. So width and length of the cloth is told over here. And how should be the cloth? It should be moist with warm water, because if it is dry, we cannot push through our throat. So even if you eat or try to consume something that is very dry, we are not able to pass it through our throat. It becomes very irritating. We start coughing. Then we need water. So if the food is moist, we can easily swallow it. So similarly, if the cloth is moist, it is easy to swallow. So moist with warm water. So you have to moist that cloth with warm water, and then it is pushed in. So then it is pushed in your mouth and it is swallowed, as shown by the Guru. And how do you swallow it? Slowly, very slowly. And when you are going to remove it also, when you want to remove it from your mouth, that time also you're going to remove it very, very slowly. And that is called as dhauti karma. So here you have to remember, very important, is the width and the length of that cloth. Then what is the benefit? What is the benefit of dhauti karma? Kasa, shvasa, pliha, kushta, and kafaro. Kasa. Kasa means cough. Kasa means cough. Then is Kasa, shwas. Again we know asthma. All the diseases related to your respiration. Asthma. Pliha. Pliha means your spleen. Kushta. Kushta, we know it is leprosy. And 20 kinds of diseases born of film. This is very, very important. It is asked in the exam. 20 kinds of diseases that are related to cough. In exam, they give you the option. How many types of cough issues are cleaned or cleared or resolved by dhauti as per Hatha Pradipika? So 20, 40, 80. So then you get confused, because 80 is kumbhak. Then you get confused in the numbers. Kidhar ke kaun se hai? So remember here, 20 kinds of diseases. 20 kinds of diseases born out of film. Film means cough, they disappear by the practice of dhauti. Then, question was asked in Jan 2017. As per Hat Pratipika, which diseases are benefited by dhauti? So, Vataj, that means Vat related, cough related, Charma, skin, and Netra, that means eyes. Who will answer? Who knows the answer?
Kapha,
Vacha and Charma Vikar.
Kafaj. How many types of kafaj?
20 types.
20.
20 types.
20 types.
Very good, 20 types. And which is the other one?
Charma Vikara.
Charma, charma. Very good, because leprosy is told over here. So charma, kushta rog. Kushta rog is charma rog, which is leprosy. Very good. Then, I had this. Okay. Then is Gajakarni. Now, Gajakarni, it has not been mentioned in the Shatakriya, but it is related to the Shatakriya. It is related to the whatever we are studying, Shatkarma. Hence, it is put over here by Svatmala. Kramashah, or by controlling the flow of prana through the nadis, the yogi lifts the vital energy upwards. Now, when a yogi controls the prana in the nadis, then he lifts the vital energy upwards. That means he lifts the apana vayu upwards. First, he controls the pran that is entering in his body. Pran that he is inhaling, that is entering in the body. He gains control on that flow. Then what happens? He lifts up the apana vayu, and then he places it in the throat region. Then he gets that vayu in the throat region, and along with that vayu, what happens? Whatever is there in your stomach, the food, water, liquid, whatever is there, along with the vayu, it comes out of your mouth. It is thrown out of your mouth. It's called as Gaja Karani. It is very similar to what animals do when their stomach is upset. They eat grass, and then what happens? They vomit. Why do they do that? So whatever is there in undigested food or any infection is there in their stomach, they vomit everything, and then they feel very nice. That animals do on their own whenever they feel that there is something wrong in their stomach or they have eaten something wrong. At that time, they do. If you have seen those who have pets, they know this. So it is similar to that. That is Gajakarni. So basically vomiting whatever is in your belly, just throwing it out is Gajakarni. Next is Basti. In Basti, what you have to do is you have to squat in a navel deep water. So you have to take water in a tub, then you have to squat in it. Now squat in it in Utkatasan. Here you have to squat in Utkatasan. This asana is very important. It is asked in the exam. In which asana do you perform or practice Basti? So that is Utkatasana. So squatting. 1 minute, I'll just put it over here also. In navel deep water. So the water has to come to your navel region. That is how deep it should be. It should not be less. It should not be more. Navel deep water. That is said in Hat Pradipika. Then what you have to do is you have to insert a pipe in your anus. Now both the ends of the pipe should be open, and you have to insert the pipe in the anus. And then what the yogi should do is he should contract and relax his anus. Contract and relax his anus. In that way, what happens? Whatever impurity is there inside it, it is expelled in the water. It is thrown out. And the inner portion, it gets cleaned. And that is called as Basti. Sure you have understood, na? Here from exam point of view, Utkatasan is very important. You have to remember they do ask which asan. So it is Utkatasan. Now what are the benefits of Basti? Now all these things in the second Updesh, things you have to learn it in sequence only. There is no other option. Lot of learning is there because benefits, process and benefit. Again, pranayam, process and benefit. And you have to remember all the benefits in sequence and as per Hat Pradipika. In Bheran, the benefits are different. The process of certain pranayam are also different. So, Gheran, different, here it's different. So now when we are learning it today, revise it today itself, today, tomorrow. Now, what are the benefits of Basti? Gulma. Gulma means gas. Pliha means spleen. Udar. Udara means jalodar or ascites. That means issues related to your belly or your intestine. Vata pitta kapha udbhava. That means arising from the disorders of vata, pitta and kapha are all cured. So what are the benefits of Basti? By practicing Basti Kriya, colic, that is belly issues, enlarged spleen, dropsy or edema, and health issues arising from the disorders of Tridosh, that is Vat, Kapha and Pitta, all are cured. Now tell me, in which Shat Karma 20 types of Kapha dosh are cured?
Dauti.
Dhauti. And here, all the three doshas, issues related to all the three doshas are cleared. Very good, very nice. Then, further, what are the benefits? Again, here in the next shlok, he has told, by practicing Basti with water, the dhatus, the indriyas and the mind become calm. So our dhatus, they become strong. Then our indriyas, our senses, and our mind, it calms down. It gives glow and tone to the body. So all the impurities are gone. All the impurities are removed. So automatically what will happen? Your body will start glowing. Your body will be toned. And of course, Jatharagni Pradeep hoti hai. That means your appetite will increase. Bhook lagegi aapko अच्छे से. And all the disorders disappear. These are all these and the previous shlok, all these are benefits of Basti. Then next, Neti. Neti, insert a soft and lubricated thread. Now again, the thread that you're going to use, it has to be soft and lubricated. If it is dry and if you try to insert it in your nose, you will not, you will start sneezing, it will irritate. So the thread has to be soft and it has to be lubricated. So sneaked hona chahiye, chikna hona chahiye. And about one span. Ek vitasti. Span means what? Vitasti. One span. Okay. This is vitasti. In the shlok it is given vitasti. So what do you mean by vitasti? Vitasti is this. Ye lambai. That is one span. This is vitasti or ek beat, or we can say 9 inches. So anything is asked in the exam, it is one and the same. In Sutra Neti, how long should be the sutra or the thread? One span or 9 inches or vitasti. And it should be passed through your nose and should be taken out from your mouth. It should be inserted from your nose and taken out from the mouth. And that is called as neti. Now tell me, in dhoti, what was the width and length of the cloth?
Chaturangula Vistar.
That is 4 inches.
And
That's
15,
4 angul.
7 or 8 centimeter.
4 angul and how long?
15 hath. 15 hath.
And
15
now
hand span.
15 hand span. And now here, yes. Here half hand is also called, yes. So one span or 9 inches long or half hand. This is also called. Just I mean half hand. Or we can say here iska half. That is also called. asked in, that can also be asked in the exam. It is one and the same. Clear with Neti? Now, what are the benefits of Neti? Kapala Shodhan. Kapala Shodhan means purification of your cranium, this head region, cranium. Kapala Shodhan. So, Neti, you're inserting from here and taking out from here. So, Kapala Shodhan. So, your cranium is purified. Divya Drushti, divine eyesight. Divya Drushti. Jatrurdha, Jatrurdhva, Jat Roga. That means it soon destroys all the diseases of the cervical and the scapular region, that is throat. So all the diseases which are above your shoulder, from here to here, above your shoulder, any disease or illness, health issue related to this region is destroyed. So with Neti, what happens? It cleanses the cranium, bestows clairvoyance, and third, it destroys all the diseases of the cervical, scapular region and above the throat. Then, question was asked, according to Hat Pradipika, what are the benefits? What are the benefits of Neti Kriya? Cleansing of the skull, Kapala Shodhan, divine vision, Divya Drushti, kindling of digestive fire, Agni Sandipan, cure of diseases above the throat, Jatrurdhva Roga Nasha.
ABD.
ABD. Kapala Shodhan, Divya Drushti, Urdhva. Yes, very good. Very nice. Next is Tratak. Tratak is simple. We all know what is Tratak. So in Tratak, being calm, one should gaze steadily at a small mark or object till eyes are filled with tears. And this is called as Tratak by Acharyas. Now, when we practice in our daily life Tratak, what do? We take a diya or a candle or we put a dot and then we practice Tratak. Now, here the object is not mentioned by Swatmaram Rishi. He has just said that it should be a small mark or we can say a sukshma laksha, subtle object. And one should calmly gaze steadily at that object. Till what time should you gaze? Has he told any time span specific? No. He has said that till your eyes are filled with water, till that time, you need to practice Tratak. Then what are the benefits of Tratak? Of course, it is good for eyes. Along with that, it removes sloth. So, Netra. Netra Rog, very good for your eyes. Tandra. Tandra means sloth. That means laziness. And then, if it is kept secret, then he's saying that it should be kept secret very carefully. And how should you keep it secret? Like a box of jewelry. How you keep a box of jewelry? A box in which there is jewelry, you will keep it hidden. You will not tell anyone. Similarly, even this practice of Tratak, it should be kept secret. Gupta rakhni chahiye. How? Like a box of jewelry. Then, next is Nauli. In Nauli, I have shown the picture. What you have to do is you have to lean your shoulders. You have to bend forward a little. Lean forward, shoulder bent forward a little. Look at this picture. And in this bent posture, the belly is moved forcibly from left to right. And right to left. Now, from exam point of view, you have to remember again that first here it is said that the belly moves from left to right and then from right to left. You have to remember this. And this movement of your belly from left to right and right to left is called as Nauli. Now, what are the benefits of Nauli? It is related to your stomach region. So everything related to your stomach, of course. So it kindles digestive fire. That means Jatharagni pradipt hoti hai, removes indigestion. That is also related to your belly. Then removes all disorders of doshas. So it removes all the disorders of Tridosha, Vata, Kapha, Pitta. It brings about happiness. So if your digestion is good, okay, if you feel hungry, it is digested properly. If your doshas are balanced, of course you'll feel happy. And this Nauli is considered as an excellent exercise in Hatha Yoga, or we can say it is also called as Shreshta. So which, 1 minute. Which Shatakriya is considered Shreshta in Hatha Yoga? And so you have to remember that Nauli is considered as Shreshta in all the Shatkriyas or Shatkarma in Hatha Yoga. Now tell me an asana. Which asana was called as Shri?
Mayurasana.
Mayurasana was called as Shri. Very good. Now Kapalabhati. Kapalbhati. When inhalation and exhalation are performed very quickly, like a pair of bellows of a blacksmith, it removes all the disorders from the excess of film and is called as Kapalbhati. Meaning cough se related, all the disorders, health issues are removed by Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati is a heat generating pranayam. Ushnata bhati hai. That's why all the disorders related to cough or phlegm, they are destroyed by practice of Kapalbhati. We all know Kapalbhati, so I will not go much into detail of that. Then it is said that when pranayam is performed after getting rid of obesity born of the defects, phlegm, by the performance of the Shatkaram, it easily brings success or Siddhi. So Swatmaran Rishi in the starting of Shatkarma told that who should perform Shatkarma? Only those people who are fat, jinko motapa hai, and those who have cough related issues. Only those should perform Shatkarma. Now here is saying that when pranayam is performed after getting rid of all these issues by the performance of Shatkarma, then what happens? A yogi, he easily attains success. So first a yogi needs to practice asana, then nadi shodhan, then Shatkarma, and then he should practice pranayam. So that is the sequence that has been told in Pradipika. Now we will stop over here. We will stop here. Revise. I'll send the PDF. Revise whatever I have told, because there is a lot of learning to do, especially in advantages, benefits. Learn with sequence. Learn in sequence only, whether it makes sense or it doesn't make sense to you. In exam, they always ask what is the sequence.